arbitration?
Yeah, well, tough question right out of the gate. No, I mean, I'm obviously really happy we got a settlement done before. Just the travel to go back and forth from Florida the day before spring training, but also just like, it's a process that weighs on you a little bit, and I think that both parties are happy with the settlement, and now it's just baseball.
It's a structure that helps the team of Caswell this year. Was that something that you were conscious of, or was that part of their pitch to you?
I guess both parties. Proud of my agent for bringing it up. I think that it added some flexibility there, but still kept my value in a spot that I wanted it to be. So I kudos to both sides, and happy to get it done with.
You're coming into the season having spent a full season as a starting pitcher, but what changes going into the season not knowing what you've been able to do and what you can do?
Yeah, I talked to Ruben going into the offseason. I shut down for 4 weeks, but then kind of slowed my progression coming into it. I told Ruben this is probably the first offseason that I've been able to come into spring training knowing that I have a spot come opening day. Last year, obviously, I felt that, but I wanted to prove myself coming into a new organization. So I'd say I'm a little bit slower than what I normally would do. I'll still have 8 or 9 bullpens before I throw a live BP. I'd say I usually had 8 or 9 bullpens coming into spring training. And then it's really just being able to use spring training as a build-up. So I was able to give my body the time to recover in the offseason and feel great coming in.
You got veterans year went on last year. What did you kind of feel and figure out as a major league starting pitcher as you were able to go on and see some lineups a couple of different times, still have success?
Yeah, obviously the scouting is a big part of that, knowing what a guy did against me early in the year and how I can exploit that later in the year, but also just leaning on the veteran guys that we had ahead of me. Constantly in communication with Joe and Darvish and Dylan and just like, what could I be doing better? And I think Joe is the king of a quality start. And I wanted to go out there and put up as many zeros as possible. And I think that I would get caught up in that, where all of a sudden it would snowball into a 5-run outing. And if I was able to do what Joe did and limit the damage and fight through and still give the team a chance to win, it would be valuable. So taking a lot of lessons from Joe was big for me throughout that season.
Even if he can't throw, what's he mean to this team in this rotation?
Yeah, I mean, we had the camp leading up to this, and it was something like 40 guys here, and obviously it's his idea for the camp. He's just that veteran leadership, that ultra competitor. You see him working in rehab. I asked him when he was starting to throw. We felt like he could start throwing now, but his rehab is one that it's like inspiring for us to see, and you want to see him pitch, so it hurts seeing him on the shelf, but he's going to come back stronger than he was in the years past.
That start you had in the wild card game here was of historic nature. You saw this ballpark in a day like today. It's not the same quite thing. Can you start to feel some of that electricity being around the fans and in this place again?
It's fun being back out in San Diego. I've been here for like a week, and even just like stupid things getting recognized on the street, it's fun. And everybody's saying go Padres, and everybody's saying we should have had them last year, and we're excited to try to go further than we did last year.
It's been a different offseason for this Padres team. Starting with your guy, your batting mate, Kyle Higashioka. How tough to see that guy walk out the door?
I love that guy. It's obviously hard. I've been in a locker room with him since 2018, but he deserves every cent that he got in that contract. So I'm super proud of him. I know he's going to have an awesome couple of years over in Texas. Not looking forward to facing him because I feel like he knows every sequence that I could possibly throw. But I'm really, really proud of him for getting that contract.
You have a couple guys in this team. I mean, yourself, Dylan, see some important players in this team, and your names are still thrown out there as possible trade bait. Is that something that's disconcerting? Is it something that you pay attention to, or is it just something that you accept as part of the business? Part of the business.
I think it's fun though. Like Dylan and I always joke around about it. You gotta. Obviously, you're gonna hear it, but you want to just make fun of it. And we obviously have a great core group of guys. And if one of us isn't here, we're gonna be super excited to see what they can do on the opposing team. But it's just one of those things that we know we're gonna have a good team put together, and we gotta play as best as we can with or without whoever's in this locker room right now.
That being said, would you be shocked if you were traded? And is that something you discussed with AJ before you came to this agreement?
I guess, yeah, I would be shocked. But obviously anything can happen. I didn't think I was going to get traded over here that offseason last year. So anything can happen. I know that baseball world's crazy, so you don't want to make those plans, and then the baseball gods are going to tell you something different. So wherever we are, whatever the team is, I know we're going to have a championship caliber team, and it'll be a fun season.
Have you given Hosung any Tampa tips?
Say that again.
Have you given Hosung Kim any tips about Tampa?
I have not. Another one of those guys that obviously he was a heart and soul of San Diego. Those Ha-Seong Kim chants are you can feel them when you just talk about it. So, yeah, I mean, the only at bat he has against me is an RBI single, and so I hope to not face him again, or I hope to face him again and make that average go down a little bit. But he's going to have a ton of success over there, and Tampa's a great city, so he'll have some fun.
Living in that area, what is it like knowing that the Rays are going to be playing a spring training stadium for the foreseeable future right now?
Definitely weird. Obviously, I played at that spring training stadium a ton. It's a great clubhouse. It's a great staff over there, so I'm sure they're going to be able to sell out and have true Tampa fans, because obviously they're located in St. Pete. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. You're probably going to have to miss a lot of BP because right at 4 o'clock it rains every day in the summertime. So probably going to be a hitters friendly park just because it's going to be so hot and ball fly. So I'm glad we don't go there this year. But I'm obviously we're baseball players. You got to adjust, and everybody that goes there, the Tampa Bay Rays, they're going to have to make that adjustment, and I'm sure they're going to do a good job doing it.
What's it been like for you to watch everything that the Dodgers have done this year to get better after knocking you guys out of the playoffs last year?
Yeah, they're a great team, and obviously they got better. I still feel like we were obviously right there with them in the DS, and looking forward to facing them again. I know that our core group of guys, it's always a fun time when we play them, and that core group gets. Once you get some pressure on them, you got to stick together. And even though they can add some people, it's still same game. Anybody can go out there and dominate that lineup or shut up one of their starting pitchers. It's just how baseball is. So it's going to be another fun series throughout the regular season, and hopefully we can get them this postseason.